Hello, and welcome back to the Quaker Sports Recap. It's playoff time, and a lot of our teams are still competing. Last week, I stopped by boys ice hockey semifinals, girls basketball quarterfinals, and boys basketball quarterfinals. I have reports on all of them. I also have a profile on Rifle as they prepare for state finals, a 7 questions with Sabres legend Pat Kaleta that I did at Section 6 Hockey Media Day, and a 7 questions with girls basketball star Lainey Babbage. So, let's get right to it!
On Tuesday, your Orchard Park Lady Quakers took on the Falcons from Niagara Wheatfield for a spot in the Section 6 semifinals at Buff State. Falling behind 6-0 after a couple of Niagara Wheatfield threes, Maggie Gosella opened the scoring for OP. Trying to build momentum, Gosella also scored OP's next basket, allowing Lainey Babbage to tie it up at 6 with 2 of her own. After Caroline Brown sank a 3, what was once a 6-0 Falcons lead was now a 9-6 Quakers lead. The quarter remained close, but the Quakers stayed on top, ending the first with the 18-14 lead. Caroline Brown scored another 3 to open the second quarter to put the Quakers up by 7. Shortly after, Caroline Brown ripped the ball from a Falcon and fed Erin Haggerty down the court, who scored the layup for the Quakers. Late in the second, and with the Quakers dominating, Shaylee Palayo stole the ball and found Caroline Brown flying down the court for a layup 2 for the Quakers. The Quakers ended the half up 39-22. Erin Haggerty opened the scoring in the third after a steal, going coast to coast for the layup to expand Orchard Park's lead 41-22. A few minutes later, Caroline Brown continued her Steph Curry run and made her third 3 of the night. Wanting to get in on the fun, Maggie Gosella scored a 3 of her own about a minute later. The Quakers dominated this quarter, as well as outscoring Niagara Wheatfield 19-7 and had a 58-29 lead at the end of the third. Coming into the fourth, all the Quakers had to do was not get outscored by 35 in the fourth quarter. Ella Hernandez was the first to score in the fourth, extending the Quakers' lead to 60-29. This was the beginning of a 19-4 run for the Quakers, who cruised to a 77-33 victory. After the game, I talked to Lady Quakers Ella Hernandez and Caroline Brown about the game and how they would prepare for section semis at Buff State on Sunday.
Congratulations on the win. You guys were up 18-14 at the end of the first quarter, but you weren't playing at your highest level. For the rest of the game, however, you guys dominated, outscoring Niagara Wheatfield 59-19. What adjustments did you guys make in order to get back on track?
We switched to playing man defense to put some pressure on them because we knew they weren't like the best ball handlers. So then once we started putting pressure, defense turned into offense for us, which just gave us the flow. And then we started playing faster, I feel like, which just really got us to get ahead.
What was something that you saw you liked, and what about something you need to work on before the section semis?
We got to work on some offensive things a little bit, but I think we had really good intensity on defense, and we did a really good job communicating, so that's a good sign.
How emotional was this game, considering it was the last home game for some of the seniors, and you're not going to be playing any more home games with some of them?
They seem pretty excited, to be honest. I don't know how sad they are. I mean, it's obviously a little emotional, like last home game with them, some of our best friends, but they're excited. Move on to semis, hopefully win that and go to finals together. That'd be super exciting. So
you got states ahead. On Sunday, you guys have a section semifinal at Buff State. How do you prepare for this game over the next whatever many days?
Yeah, we know it's going to be a tough game, so I think we just got to be really focused and practice all week and make sure we're working on the things that we need to get better at and just have a good mentality going into the weekend.
All right, thank you guys so much.
That was a great game to watch as Orchard Park stepped up their intensity for the playoffs. Unfortunately, the girls ended their season in the semis. It wasn't the result that they wanted, but it was an incredible season that made all of us Quaker Nation proud to be fans. The boys also played in a quarterfinal game last week, which I'll tell you about now. Roll tape.
On Friday, your Orchard Park Gentlemen Quakers took on the Flames from Williamsville East for the right to a spot in the semifinals. The Quakers scored first, just 4 seconds in, on a basket from Weston Cummings to take a 2-0 lead, a lead that they would hold on to for the rest of the game. Justice Nivers' 3 25 seconds later extended the Quakers' lead to 5-0. On the Oats' next possession, Weston Cummings drew the foul and made a free throw to extend the Quakers' lead to 6-0. Will North shrank that lead to 6-4, but Weston Cummings put the Quakers back on track with a deuce. At the end of the first, the Quakers led 16-8. Weston Cummings opened the scoring for the Quakers just 27 seconds into the second quarter. That was the start of a scoring run that resulted in the Quakers heading into the locker room at half with a 38-21 lead. Just like he did in the second, Cummings opened the scoring in the third. This time, Max Mankabelli stole the ball from Willies and found a flying Cummings, who dropped the layup for 2. After a 6-0 scoring run from the Flames, Max Mankabelli had a 3-point play with a 2-pointer and a free throw to make the score 43-27. The Quakers and Will North played a back-and-forth game for the remainder of the third quarter. However, at the end of 3, the Quakers still had an insurmountable 58-43 lead. With 1 quarter remaining in the game, all the Quakers had to do was not let up in order to close out the win. Finn Taberski led the Quakers with a clinic on how to make a statement for the rest of Section 6 and a big victory. He started with a power move to the key for 2. He followed that up with a steal, which he then charged down the court for a highlight reel dunk that brought the crowd to its feet. He followed that up with 2 threes from the corner to expand the Quakers' lead to 67-45. Finn's fire badge on NBA 2K was officially activated. Undoubtedly too hot to handle. This led Taberski to being dissed in the post-game handshake line, with the Quakers celebrating a 76-56 victory and a trip to semis at Buff State. After the game, I talked to Coach Frankowski about the game and how they will prepare for Section semis.
You guys did a great job rebounding the ball. However, you guys had multiple fouls. How do you get the teams to keep rebounding while also eliminating fouls?
You know, you don't want to pull them back, because we talk all the time like what wins games in basketball is more possessions. So that means offensively giving you, more than one chance at it. Defensively limiting them to 1, getting turnovers so you can get out and run on it. And we want to try to be physical. At the same point, we don't want to put people on the line. So it's trying to toe that line of being aggressive but not too aggressive. But today I'm going to take the defensive effort that we had over a little bit of, foul trouble at times.
Yeah, of course. You guys haven't played in 15 days since your last game, which was home against Frontier. Does the time off help you because you have time to rest, or does it actually hurt you because it makes you rusty?
It can be a catch-22 depending on how you handle it as a team. I think for us it's a good thing because we get our legs back, and you can kind of go back to some basics of things that you need to work on, that you get away from, because when you got a game plan for a team the next day, you get away from some of those things. So this allows you to do that. Plus it allows you to add going into the playoffs, which is always advantageous because you may see a team a second time or a third time, and coming in with some new things they haven't seen, that's huge. So for us, those days allowed us to do that.
Yeah. For many of the members on your team, it's the last time they play in the gymnasium for Orchard Park. What are the emotions like in the locker room?
You know what, for them, we talked about that before the game, that, all the blood, sweat, and tears, all the years that they did, that's what this is about. You want this memory to be a lasting one today. At the same point, I said, they're not actually done. That their bench, they're going to sit in there every single day. They're going to be in the gym every single day. We want this journey to be long. So the games may be done in here, but the boys got a long time left, and that's the goal.
Yes, sir. I want you to look over on that banner for boys basketball. What's one thing you notice?
We've always talked about putting our year up on that banner. That's been a goal every single year. This program, I've been the head coach now for 8 years, and we expect to be at Buff State. We expect to win at Buff State. We expect to be a top 10 team every year, and our goal is to put a year on that banner, and it's never been done in school history before, and we've been so close so many times, and 6 times out of 8 years at Buff State, and so our goal every single day, these kids come in with that mindset, so they want 2026 up there.
What are the steps of getting over the hump to do that?
It starts every single day and coming out, winning the game on defense. And that even if you don't make shots, even if offense doesn't go great, even if you can always win the game on defense, you can always rebound, you can always play with effort. And if we trust what we do, and play within a system, and we always say that, our goal is 3 guys with double figures. If we do that and share the ball, good things will happen for us.
All right, well, thank you, Coach.
That was another great game to be at. I know that the team and the fans fed off of each other's energy. I hope that the fans come out to Buff State on Thursday, because the boys won their semifinal matchup over Kenmore West, going away and will be looking to capture their first Section 6 championship in team history. Speaking of Section 6 championships, on Wednesday I was at Hockey's Media Day and ran into Sabres legend Pat Kaleta. I gave him the QTV 7 questions treatment. Let's watch.
How much of an honor was it to play in the city you grew up in? And how much of an honor was it to represent the Buffalo community?
It's probably one of the coolest things that I've ever been able to experience. Growing up a Sabres fan, being able to put on the blue and gold. My draft jersey was actually the Goat Head jersey. So I wore a bunch of cool jerseys that I grew up watching and loving. But I would say one of the coolest parts about being a hometown kid is having your name announced by Rick Jenneret. I still find myself looking at old clips, old videos, and just listening to RJ, make the call.
Yeah. Oh yeah, RJ is the GOAT, that's for sure. So, your first NHL game, obviously, very, very memorable for most Sabres fans. And what do you remember from that game?
Well, I remember being very, very nervous. Before that, I didn't get to be able to play a preseason game, so my first time putting on an actual jersey was that game. So suiting up, watching it unfold, and being able to go out there when the mayhem, and start it up a little bit, something that I love and I'm pretty good at. So just overall being a part of that game, just remembering that game, remembering the brawl. I got my first point that game, and most importantly, the win.
And did Lindy Ruff really say run him?
No, I don't think he said that. But you're sitting on the bench, and you kind of, obviously you're watching. You kind of get the feel of what's going on. So when you feel the tap on your back, and you're headed out on the ice. In your mind, you kind of know what you need to do and defend your teammates.
You know what happened 19 years ago, like a few days ago, right? You know what the 19th anniversary was, right?
Yep. Well, there's a couple of them, right? So my 1980 Olympic team, we had my first NHL game. Terry Bagula bought the team.
Oh, yeah.
So February 22nd is,
a great day.
A great day in the Kaleta household.
And now, how did you celebrate that day? Did you have cake? Did you have ice cream to celebrate that fight and everything?
Normally, I get a couple texts. Normally, Andrew Peters makes sure he wishes me a happy Pat Kaleta Day every year. But I was actually watching the U.S. team play. I was down in Florida with my family, and just had a good day with my family, and shared a couple laughs of a few texts that I received.
Do you think it should be a national holiday?
I don't know if we can swing that, but I'm happy. I'm happy it's a little bit of a holiday in the town of Evans.
I was watching one of these fights last night. I think it was from 2010. It was with Derek Dorsett.
Yeah.
Did you like punching with your left hand or your right hand better?
My left hand. I'm a lefty, natural lefty. So what people don't know is in the AHL a couple years ago, prior to that, Derek jumped me when he was playing for Syracuse. So, so I'm going after Vanek, and then hockey players have that little switch that sometimes go off, and the switch went off, and I let him have it.
Yeah. You got your revenge.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Yeah. Couple lefts.
Which teammate was the best trash talker?
There's a couple really good ones. I would say the coolest one probably is Steve Ott. I've heard multiple reports. I've seen it live. The reports are he learns to trash talk in different languages so he can make sure everyone feels
Everyone feels
involved.
bad about him.
Yeah. So Otter was pretty good, but ultimately it's part of the game, and he's a great teammate, great dude. He's finding some real good success in coaching now.
Who is the most skilled player you ever played against? The best player you ever played against?
For me, remembering what I could remember, would probably be Pavel Datsyuk.
Really?
For the Red Wings. He's incredible. And then playing with, I would say either Tyler Ennis or Tim Conley.
Really? Those are good answers. I would have thought like Daniel Briere.
Yeah, I mean, what Conley and Ennis can do with the puck and how they did it was... Yeah. I haven't seen anybody like that.
Do you think Josh Allen would be a better ice hockey setter, or Tage Thompson would be a better NFL quarterback? Who do you think would do better at what?
Oh, well, I don't know how much Josh skates, or we want him skating. So I feel like going from the field to the ice is harder than going from the ice to the field, just because it's more natural. So I would say I haven't seen Tage throw a football, but I would say going from ice to field is a little bit easier of a transition.
Oh, yeah. You're a big Bills fan, of course, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I was making sure.
It was great to talk with Pat. He is once listed as one of the NHL's most hated players, right behind Steve Ott, who was also mentioned. So, he must have been doing something right. Pat was the ambassador for Section 6 at the event, an event that featured 2 Orchard Park's teams thanks to the Quakers' dominant victory over Lockport in the semis. Here's my report on that game.
On Monday, your Orchard Park Quakers ice hockey team faced off against the Lockport and Niagara Falls combined team in the Section 6 semifinals at Harbor Center. Knowing that Lockport was eager to avenge their 11-0 shutout loss to the Quakers in last year's semi, the Quakers looked to come out fast. The score remained tied until Sean Robertson scored off a rebound 9 seconds into the first to give the Quakers a 1-0 lead. It would take the Quakers just over 4 minutes until they scored another goal, this time from Luke Hutchings to take the 2-0 lead. A minute later, Jackson Tanucci poked the puck past the goalie blocker side to extend the lead to 3-0. A whole 18 seconds later, Sean Robertson scored on a wraparound to give the Quakers a 4-0 lead, a lead which they took into the locker room at the end of the first. OP played strong D, and when goalie Matthew Schwarzat was asked to make saves, he stepped up every single time. About 3.5 minutes into the second period, the Quakers were back in business, scoring as Nolan Thorpe scored a goal to give the Quakers the 5-0 lead. 40 seconds later, Will Newlove scored a bottle rocket to extend the Quakers' lead to 6-0. 2 minutes later, Cole Pernhedge fired the puck into the net to extend the Quakers' lead to 7-0. In the time between the goals, Schwarzat was making saves that he needed to. Pernhedge scored an absolute beauty, getting his second of the night and the Quakers' 8th. Nolan Thorpe scored his second of the night to give the Quakers a 9-0 lead at the end of the second. With the Quakers only needing to avoid allowing 10 goals in the third, OP brought in their closer, Cole Shinta, to give Schwarza a well-deserved rest. The Quakers were in business as usual to start the third period as Sean Robertson completed his hat trick 23 seconds in, giving Orchard Park the 10-0 lead. After Will Blake scored the Quakers' 11th goal, Lockport's frustration began to boil over, and they started to get a little chippy. After goals by Luke Hutchings and Will Newlove to make this score 13-0, OP totally took their foot off the gas, just trying to run out the clock and get ready for the Section 6 championship game against Lancaster on Sunday. After the game, I talked to Coach Fonz about the 13-1 win and how the team would prepare as they try for their 5th straight Section 6 championship.
All right, Coach, today you guys had a great game, which obviously comes with preparation. What were some things you did to prepare for this game?
We went back to using our speed and moving the puck, and as you evident that we scored 4 goals in the first 2.5, 3 minutes of the game, so we came out ready to play using our speed.
After those 4 goals in the first period, the team seemed to play with a little less focus and intensity. Did you give them a message in the locker room to get them back on track going into the second period? And if so, what did you tell them? Or did you feel it wasn't needed?
Well, we told them to start coming back and working on the little things that make us a good team, because we did get lazy, but we know we got a big game on Sunday, so we had to get back to working and doing the little things right, and we came and scored 5 goals.
After you were up 11 or 12-0, I forget, I don't know, which then Lancaster started to get a bit chippy. How do you keep the team from, avoiding a penalty next game and staying disciplined?
You just got to tell them to walk away from anything that happens. If they get cheap shotted, they just got to walk away, because we're going to move on and the other team's not. And, we don't want anybody to hurt, and they know if they get thrown in the next game, they can't play in a sectional championship game. So we got to be smart on those things.
What were some things that you saw that you liked today, and some things that you think you need to work on a little at practice?
I thought our D really started skating back with the puck and getting it up to our forwards, and also our forecheck was a lot better today. We used our speed, and I'm going back to what I said earlier. When we use our speed, we're pretty dangerous.
And on Sunday, you guys play the section title game at the Sabres Arena in a game where you very likely could play Lancaster, who you lost to earlier this season, or I guess later this season. How do you prepare the team to make sure you win a section title, and if you play Lancaster, a different result from the game last time?
We just got to come out and play our game. Like I said, use our speed, move the puck, and we pretty much know what they're going to do. I think they know what we're going to do. We played them last year. It's all about preparation and how our mental. If we're into the game mentally, I think we'll be okay. But the kids have to play hard for the 51 minutes. If we don't, then Lancaster will have the edge.
All right, thank you.
That was a fun game to be at, and they beat Lockport more solidly than they did last year, which is honestly impressive. We all need to turn out to cheer on the team on Saturday at the Harbor Center for the Western Regionals. The next stop on their road is a state championship. But hockey wasn't the only team with a Section 6 title last week. Let's see how all of our teams did.
Girls varsity basketball beat Niagara Wheatfield in the section quarterfinals 77-33 before falling short to North Tonawanda in the section semifinals. The girls did a great job representing the maroon and white throughout the season and finished the year 18-3 and had a playoff win. You had a great season, ladies, something to be proud of. The Quakers took third at states for gymnastics. The Quakers' top finisher was Gianna Wabick, who placed second in the vault. Congratulations to Quakers Cheer, who are your Section 6 champions. The team will be participating at States in Binghamton next week. Go bring home a title, ladies. Congratulations to Max Mancabelli, who finished first in the pole vault and will be representing the Quakers at States. Joining Max at States for the girls will be Allie Schmitz, also in the pole vault, Eliana Wiersbnowski in the 1500-meter race walk, and Alice Weir in the 1,000-meter run. Congratulations, and show them what it means to be a Quaker. Congratulations to boys hockey, who beat Lockport 13-1 in the semis and Lancaster 3-1 in the Section 6 championship game. The Harbor Center will be hopping on Saturday for regionals and a Quaker win. Shout out to Varsity B for also capturing the Section 6 club championship. The top seed boys varsity basketball team beat Will East on Friday and Cadmore West on Sunday to earn a trip to the Section 6 championship game on Thursday. Go get that first section title, boys!
Great job, Quakers! This sure has been a great time to be a sports reporter and a fan. One thing that I have been able to count on in each of my last 3 years as a reporter is the rifle team making a trip to states. They have won the past 2 years. This Saturday they look to defend their crown at the 30-shot standing. Rifle is kind of an underrated sport, so I thought I'd give it a try. Would I be able to hit a target? Let's find out.
This Saturday, the New York State Public High School Athletic Association Riflery Championship will take place for the third year in a row at the Orchard Park Middle School. And for the third year in a row, your Orchard Park Quakers will be competing for a crown. For the past 2 years, Orchard Park took home team titles in both of the disciplines, 3-position and 30-shot standing, as well as the individual titles in each discipline. 30-shot standing involves the total score from 3 rounds of 10 targets, while 3-position involves a total score from 10 targets standing, 10 targets prone or laying down, and 10 shots kneeling. Despite being 2-time reigning New York State champions, the Quakers graduated a couple of their varsity shooters and started the season as an underdog to a vastly improved Clarence team. At the Section 6 championships, OP finished second to Clarence in 3-position, but scored a huge upset in 30-shot standing to earn a trip down Quaker Street to attempt to earn a third consecutive title in 30-shot standing. Given their success, I wondered if I had what it takes to be a Quaker marksman. Could I use an air rifle to propel a 4.5mm pellet 33 feet into a 1 3/4 inch target with a bullseye only 1/8 of an inch wide? I headed over to the middle school to join the team at practice and try my hand at riflery. Before hitting the range, I spoke with Coach Johnson to learn more about the sport and get some tips to make me a better marksman, as well as my gun safety rules.
What are some strategies you are doing at practice to get that third state title?
So practice makes perfect. We're just shooting as much as we possibly can. Really have to focus on the fundamentals, though. It's all fundamentals, Max.
Oh yeah, fundamentals. You gotta get the fundamentals down, then you gotta become an expert. What is the easiest position to shoot from, and what is the hardest position to shoot from, in your opinion?
So not just my opinion, but definitely fact. Prone position is the easiest. Prone is laying down. Very stable. You think about it as like a building or a tree. Like the higher up it goes, the more it's going to sway, and the less stable it's going to be. So prone, they're on the ground. They have a sling on their arm, and everything's really, really locked in. And then standing would be the most challenging, most difficult, because they're higher up off the ground.
I think I'm gonna learn that in a little bit.
For sure.
What are some techniques that I should use when shooting?
Keep your eyes open.
I think that's a good. I wasn't planning on keeping my eyes closed.
Sometimes people do that. They get a little bit nervous about the shot, and they'll flinch and close their eyes, and that doesn't work out very well. But really, I think you're going to find breathing. I've never done yoga. Maybe I should, or at least Pilates.
Oh, it's overrated. I hate it.
Yeah. But your breathing really makes you relax, makes your heart rate go down, and it's kind of zen, I would say, where you're focused on everything you're doing at that particular time, just you and the rifle on the firing line, and trying to do the best you possibly can do. And I forgot what your question was, actually.
No, you actually answered it pretty good.
All right.
When should I shoot when breathing a rifle?
So, I was in the Marines, and in the Marine Corps, they teach you about breathing. We call it a natural respiratory pause. So as you're breathing, when you breathe all the air in your lungs, you'll feel like your body's kind of tense and your muscles are trying to hold that breath in. And then when you breathe out, it's like very relaxing, where that yoga and Zen comes in, right? What I'm imagining. So you kind of take that breath in, and then as you breathe out, at the bottom of your breathing cycle, that there's a natural pause there called the natural respiratory pause. At that pause is where you want to take the shot.
I was surprised to learn that in addition to physical conditioning, marksmen even have to limit their diet.
Not energy drinks, though. No energy drinks.
Don't drink Monster. I mean, no.
No caffeine, no sugar.
Really?
Yeah, you got to keep that heart rate low.
Oh, yeah, that's
Don't
true.
want to be jittery and shaky.
Those tips, it was time to suit up in the uniform safety gear. NRA rules require that the uniforms be made of material to prevent an errant pellet from contacting the skin. Let me tell you, these uniforms are not comfortable and make it difficult to move around easily. Next, Coach Johnson had to determine which eye was my dominant eye.
Yeah, is it centered?
Yep.
And don't move anything, just stand there. Got it? Mm-hmm. All right. Did it move?
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, hold on. It's still in the center?
Yep.
Does it move?
No, not as much.
So you're left eye dominant then.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so we're not going to do this today because you're right-handed and you got all right-handed stuff. I would make you shoot lefty.
Coach Johnson then showed me how the target system works for competitions.
Then we have our 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th target. I'm off right there.
Now it was time to learn about the rifle and how it works.
What you want to do is put that circle perfectly right in the center of this circle. And then the dot that your target is, you want that in the center of those two circles.
I then learned about how to position my feet, how to line up with the rifle, and how to pull a trigger. The rifle gets really heavy really quickly. Having had my crash course, it was now time to shoot for real. If I know math, and trust me, I do not. If my aim is just 1 degree off, I will miss the target by 6 inches.
Okay. I think I'm ready.
All right.
You don't seem as confident, but...
Well, I've been here a while. We'll see how it goes. Finger off the trigger. All right. Now it's a light trigger, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Have
is.
you fired a gun before?
Well, I mean, I fired them at the arcade, but, you know.
All right.
I fired Nerf guns.
Yeah.
Many of those.
Kind of similar then.
Not the,
So that pellet, right? Mm-hmm. You got a flat side. These are called wad cutters. They're just for cutting paper. Perfect circle in paper. So that flat side, that's what hits the paper. And then that hollow side goes, you'll see it, right?
It can cut paper?
Yeah, it just pokes a hole through the paper.
Now for the moment of truth.
So that's in there, right? Then you got that forward. Finger off the trigger, though. Finger off the trigger. Get it ready to go. Put it up in your shoulder. Hold on. There you go. Yep. Hey, you want to go to that left eye? I see you. All right, that trigger, you pull it, it's going. That was great, actually.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
That hit anything?
Something good, because otherwise it's going to make a whap noise because you didn't hit the target, and everyone knows that you hit the backstop.
All right, let's put another one of these in.
Emily, where'd you go?
I'm right here.
Did you hit?
Yeah.
I did?
Like to look?
Yeah. I'd love to see.
I took it
Hold
off
on,
my
let's
stand.
do 3. Let's do 3 shots.
All right, all right.
All right, ready?
So finger off the trigger. I'll let you load this one. Put the rifle here. Pull the charging handle back.
I don't know how accurate.
Yep. And then you got to grab a pellet. Now, what colleges are looking for is athletes that can do this without
Without a coach.
the coach holding the rifle
Oh, yeah.
and without them taking it out of their shoulder. Everything stays almost kind of right where it is.
There. Is that right?
Almost. We're going to push that all the way in. There you go. Now you can close that. Watch that trigger, though, because if you bump it, it's going to go up. Move that hand. Yep. Yep, that looks good. This hand goes underneath. Twist it. Yep, this goes up in your shoulder. Make sure you're on target, too, right? Yeah? You got it? Mm-hmm. That was also good. All right, we got a natural.
Maybe I found my sport.
Shooting with the wrong hand, with my feet pointing in the wrong direction, forgetting to keep my finger off of the trigger, and not taking my time properly to line up the shot, I somehow hit the target 3 times. Am I ready to be on the rifle team? No! Absolutely not. In 3 targets, I scored 3 points, almost 4. Our Quaker shooters would typically score 30 in 3 shots, so I have a long way to go. I learned that riflery requires solid core strength, patience, discipline, calmness, a steady hand, and controlled breathing. None of which are my strong suits. I think that this is a fun sport that most people overlook, but it can lead to opportunities in college and teammates for life. I look forward to cheering on our team on Saturday, March 7th, and you should too. Go Quakers, everyone.
That was a lot of fun, and I learned some things as well. Thank you very much to the rifle team for taking the time to welcome me and show me what their sport is all about. Up next, we have a Star or So questions segment with one of the stars and leaders of the impressive girls basketball team, Lady Babbage. Let's learn a little bit more about Lainey.
What do you prefer, final projects or final exams?
Final projects.
Teachers have a teacher's lounge. Should students have a students-only lounge?
Yeah, they should. I think.
What would be in it?
Probably like a couch and a TV, maybe like a popcorn maker. Yeah.
Oh, those are good options. What is your favorite basketball memory?
I liked our trip to Warren, Pennsylvania last year. We had a lot of fun in the hotel rooms playing games together, so yeah.
What are your top 3 songs on your playlist?
Ooh. Nevada, who sings that? NBA Youngboy. This is a lot. I don't know. What's another one? Wait by Maroon 5. Wait by Maroon 5. And then I don't know. Those are my 2 right now.
If you could change your name to anything, what would you change it to?
I don't know. Maybe we should. What do you think my name would be if it wasn't Lainey? Amelia. They said Amelia, but I don't know. I like my name.
What is one country you haven't visited that you would like to visit?
Italy.
Is there a question I didn't ask you that you wish I did? And what would that question be?
What is my favorite ice cream flavor? And it is cookies and cream.
I am looking forward to watching Lady and Ella Hernandez switch gears to softball to defend their state title. Thank you for watching this week's much longer than usual Quaker Sports Recap. But hey, there's a lot going on. The postseason may be drawing towards a close, but we still have teams competing. A few of the events are local, so I encourage everyone to come on out so that together we can shout, "Go Quakers!"